Adam Gray.
Alright, and I'm
The
online
Superman
now.
theme plays. Nice.
Okay. Now, now I do have a bug out plan. If this does go poorly and we're just absolutely getting slaughtered, which may well happen, we can switch over to my main save, which should ameliorate all the problems. I played a good bit of this today just to get, refreshed and everything.
Yeah.
Because after Helldivers, you occasionally need to go back and make sure everything still functions. I like that white, that gray and blue, but, I'm tempted.
Cool. Back into game.
Alright. Alright, well then I will open slot and Tombe. Invite to game.
Thank you very much indeed for the blurb. And accept it.
Alright. So...
Loading.
Mech Lab access permitted. It's good to be live streaming again. So the first one we're gonna run is a infiltration mission, which will get us up a little, and then we'll go and find a mainstream mission, see how we do on those. Okay. News. Ah, yes, the Raven. No,
Yep,
the Charger
sounds good. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Yeah, Blue Dragon. Hopefully the mechs on here will be earlier than the one in Cyberpunk. Yes, that'd be ideal, but you never know. You never know. That one earlier was fucking hard, though.
I need to show, I need to get Tomby the Farrakhan painted up Black Knight. That one's pretty cool. If we do switch over. Alright, you're in. Okay. Might want to pop out of the market, and I will start us into this mission.
Cool. You're Anonymous. How you all? How you doing, buddy? How you doing? How you doing?
What am I thinking? It's infiltration. Okay.
Bad news, Commander. Extreme weather conditions means you'll be dealing with limited visibility and compromised sensors on this mission.
I shouldn't be doing this.
What's that, mate?
Having coffee this late. But I'm out of melatonin. I'm not going to be getting good sleep anyway tonight.
I never get any good sleep any night, to be honest. Don't even know when the last time I got decent night's sleep. In fact, I've just realised that I forgot my meds anyway. Crap.
Well, I'll tell you something. For me, what works... I know your situation's quite a bit different, but for me, what works is... I do my workout right before bed.
Yeah.
And right before I do my workout, I take a melatonin, and that gets everything running through the system, and then after that I usually crash.
Yeah.
I'm up into the hundreds as far as push-ups go, so I'm generally pretty tired.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, we'll do a couple of hours if you want.
Yeah.
And then we'll call it.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I can go quite a ways. I don't have anything going tomorrow, I don't think. So so it doesn't matter if we stay up till midnight. On that count.
Ben Dovers gifted a Tommy membership. Thank you very much indeed, Ben. You're ever so kind, my friend. And Adam Gray, hail, hail, hail. How you doing? Right, who's the lucky recipient of a Tommy membership? Kai MFS has become a mobbed. Nice.
Would like us to scout the Op-4's battle mech forces while we're in the field. Attempt to sensor log each mech you come across without alerting them to your position.
Oops.
Alright. Tomby, I want you to look down on your right-hand side. Tell me if you have UAVs. I don't remember if I put one in that mech.
No.
Okay. That's fine then. Okay. There we go. There's those two. There's that one. Yeah, no, we're not shooting it right now. Just follow me and we should avoid getting shot up too much.
Coming across. Mustang McCracken, hey Chad, hey Tommy, love this game. Yes, Pete's been teaching me the wild ways of MechWarriors. It's been a long time since I played a MechWarrior game. So I'm slowly getting used to it, buddy. Slowly getting used to it. There's quite a lot to learn, but you get thrown in at the deep end. It's trial by fire at that point.
I try and take it slow. Don't push too hard. After all, games are supposed to be fun. If a game is not fun,
What's the
why are
point?
you playing?
Exactly. Exactly. This seems to be this thing that they've all forgotten.
Stick over to the side here, and we'll try and not have to get into a fight with them fellers.
Yep. I'm not coming.
Alright. Should be good. Just crunch him. And Hadouken. Okay. Crush him. Tomby, you get that one I just knocked out. Grab the green orb. It'll say A. It'll say press E, I believe. Can pick up that
E to
requisition.
hold E to collect salvage. Salvaged.
Alright. Two of those, and we should be able to... Okay. Let me take a minute to look at the map. You have jump jets. This will probably hurt my legs a little. But I don't care. Particular. Hey, it didn't.
Well, that's good.
Alright.
That's handy.
Yeah.
You're right, Crimson. How you doing? Crimson Shadow representing.
Now we just need to sneak up through here.
What level have you got to on Helldivers?
I'm a Master Sergeant, so...
Nice. Nice. That's what I like to see. More democracy being spread. Upset those salty liberals. Which is so funny.
Well...
They're all having a meltdown over the game on Twitter. It's just absolutely phenomenal to
Well, the thing is,
listen to.
one of the things I find very interesting about Helldivers is a lot of people are trying to claim that it's like a critique of fascism, or it's a Starship Troopers-esque, you know, and it's not. It's really not. The form of government that they have in Starship Troopers is, firstly, not fascists. It is a form of extreme libertarianism. Just run very fast. Don't bother fighting them, just run. We'll probably get spotted, but it won't matter because we can just run up through here and out.
Yep.
But, because if you look into people like Heinlein or, you know, Roddenberry, they weren't particularly conservative by any means.
No.
And certainly not Bushite conservative, or what we would consider mainline conservative today, nor were they liberal. Heinlein was a libertarian. And Roddenberry, you should probably go watch his Paladin episodes before you say that Star Trek is woke. Something, right to own and bear arms, something.
We've completed our scans on the target's local battlemech forces. The client will
Nice.
be pleased.
All right.
Wayfarer, the 199 have joined the chat. Good to
thank
see
you.
ya. We're now 12, just 12 subs away from the magic 600.
Ooh,
Yep, that's exactly what I thought.
sweet.
Suddenly I looked over and I thought, 588, holy shit.
All right. Let's see. What missions do we have? Huh. Illyrian Palentate. Huh. Well, I don't want to totally make the periphery mad at me. However,
Mustang McCracken says it's a coordinated campaign, probably from some of the sort of Whisper network. They wouldn't be harassing the devs if they'd caved with pride flags. They're like a
No.
child stomping because they got told no.
yeah,
Lol.
pretty much.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Well,
That's exactly what it is. They got told no, and yep, they were.
and of course they did the
Trying to
typical
fucking-
thing. Oh, how dare you!
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's pop over here, and we will do ourselves a...
Mustang McCracken also says, I love playing light mechs. I have a legendary Raven I have set up with an LRM-5 and radar jammer. It's good fun on co-op.
Indeed. Sounds like a really good setup. Okay. Do that. 315 is our tonnage limit. Okay. That'll give us 15 salvage. Not as much as I'd like, but we'll make it work. Alright.
Do this shit.
So, I would suggest you take the might want to take a... I'm trying to think here.
Daily Dysfunction says, fuck your face.
Okay,
What's-
well... Tomby, I would suggest you either take one of the Awesomes or the Crusader. I am going to grab the... Marauder. And I will give... Or you could take the Black Knight if you want.
No, one of the awesomes will be fine.
Right?
Why can't I select my bloody name? There he is.
Okay.
Why am I a chick? What the fuck?
That was the one with the highest stats. I can change it if you want.
Ah, yeah. No, that's alright. I just wondered why I was a chick all of a sudden.
Wait a second. Does this guy have higher than her? No. But does he have higher energy and... Yes, he does have a higher energy skill. Alright. And that's all you've got with that one. Alright. And we'll slap in that one. And that one. Okay. I will give him the archer. Hopefully this doesn't go horrifically wrong. Ready when you are.
Yep, sorry, mate.
No problem. None at all. I did.
You've been tasked with the destruction of an industrial
Oh
base
no.
along
Oh
the
dear.
North
Oh
Point
dear.
Alpha.
Yep.
Be sure to watch your fire around
Stay
any
away from the
tanks.
red rings of
Portals
death.
have the potential of being
Roger.
explosive.
Okay, hell.
If you just want to walk down that side and take out that artillery, I'll go up
Yep.
here and start stomping on the base.
How do I know which way you're going?
I
Yeah, I
am.
can see. Yeah. Your I take it you're
I'm in the Marauder.
number 2 on the map.
Okay, that's gone. Hopefully we can get through this without too much damage. Wow! They really like me.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I love this slow plod.
What's the speed on that one?
Not very fast. 48.
Oh. I thought I gave you the fast one of those. Because you can usually get... Oh, wait. I'm not thinking right. That's the other one on the other save. I've got one of those that can go 64 kph.
Nice. I think the other one does 50, if I remember. There was another... Because there's 2 of them, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. And with the AC5s and the Marauder wins.
Ben Dover gifts another Tommy membership. Holy shit. Thank you very much indeed, Ben.
Oh, well. This one certainly...
Nico gets a membership. Welcome to being a Tommy Muppet. Sure, it's the best thing since sliced bread, my friend.
Alright, he's just a normal griffin, so... all I need to do is... Ow! Wow, they like me. They really like me.
Yeah, I was going to say that not really done too much to me at all. Probably because I'm so fucking slow. But like,
Well,
this guy's not.
I'm hitting the main.
but
I'm hitting the main objective while you're off
Yep.
knocking out artillery. So that's probably why they're giving me so much trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
That matches the class of lethal we're after. Take it out.
Okay, he's gone.
Keep on smashing. They are hurt, but our contract calls for us to wipe them off the face of this system. This never gets old.
Okay. Let's get done over there. Well, hopefully we'll be done by the time you get done over there.
Yep. Just spinning around now.
Did I give you permission to breathe? I don't believe I did. What? They literally just... Oh, I cannot believe they were that lazy. Oh, for the love of... It's not gonna let me.
What's that?
My mech went down, and they're not gonna let me take control of the...
Second.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to do something cheesy. Hit
Yes, sir.
Y. I want you to take over one of the mechs over here and just start...
I've hit Y, but it's not doing anything.
Oh, that's really not good. We might have a serious problem then, Hector.
Ah, cheers, Ben. That's much appreciated, buddy. You're far too kind. You're far too kind, mate.
Alright, well they're doing a number on it anyway. Once you get done over there, head towards the base, knock it out if you can, and if this doesn't work, we can just restart the mission. But I believe in you!
Yep, doing it.
You've managed to demolish about half of the target's buildings. Crack on, Commander.
Is that an assassin? Or, no, that's a Centurion. He's got an AC-20, doesn't he? This poor archer over here. You've got a Marauder you need to take down if you can.
Yep.
Because he'll tear everybody apart if you don't. They're weak in the legs.
Oh, heat critical. Ah, fucking hell. Overcooked. Fucking hell, get too hot.
Enemy destroyed.
Go.
So if you could just trot on through that base,
Yep.
that would be wonderful, Habersham.
Roger.
Component destroyed.
Oh, lovely. Hey,
Yes.
there's a Panther over here. I think they're gonna crush him, though.
It's nearly here, Commander. Just keep smashing. The facility's gone cold. All power signature's gone. No one's
All right,
gonna be able to
head for the exfil as fast as you can.
Time to get out of here, Commander.
Roger, roger. Almost there. 400 meters. Oop, little landing ship.
Time to collect our pay.
All right.
Nice. Steel leg. Be right back. Need to get a drink. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Rick
Stay
says
hydrated.
hello again.
Hello again. Okay. So, we can take the Panther, or we can grab the large laser. I'm gonna grab the level 4 large laser instead, because good weapons are gonna hard to come by, I have a feeling. Tommy?
Hello, mate. You there?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tomby, Peter's low in Discord. Might want to boost him up. Let me just do that. Should be a bit better now, Rick. Should be a little bit better now, my friend. We're almost at 100 people following over on Twitch. And almost at 100 on Kick as well. It's not going too badly. Not going too badly.
That's interesting.
What's up, mate?
Okay, add another. You know what? Let's just dump all that into armor. And I will put another heatsink there. Add a UAV drone for good measure. Oh, there we go. And we should be good to go with that one. Okay. Mech needs repairs. There's that. Place a heatsink. Better lasers are always good. So what'd you get into today?
Just sorting some stuff out with the in the house chores. Oh, there goes a hat. Chores, as you can think of. Sorting out the grandkids. Taking the dog out for a walk. A few bits in between, and wrapped it up with cooking the wife a nice fillet of steak. A nice steak dinner. As you do, as you do.
As you do.
Yeah. And then there was enough time to chill out, watch a bit of TV for 5 minutes, and then jump on Cyberpunk. Cool. Well, actually, what I ended up doing was helping Steel Leg for about 3/4 of an hour. He got a new headset today. So I went through, set it all up for him, made sure it was all okay. Redid his OBS, reconfigured Windows. I had a chinwag with him for doing Cyberpunk. And all I wanted to do was just get this one boss down in Cyberpunk, which I managed to do tonight, which is fine.
Nice.
But it certainly was hard going. It wasn't an easy fight. Wasn't an easy fight at all.
We're gonna be able to put. It's not gonna let me do it from there. Of course not. I can air anything. Never be easy. Okay. Battle mechs. Archer. Okay, we'll replace. Put 2 LRM-20s. They won't be stream fires, but To make up for it, we'll put a pair of LRM double ammos in there, which are quite a bit more than double. And medium lasers.
Should be a bit better now, Rick. It should be a little bit better now. Ah, it's Nick Gabrone. How you doing, Nick? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you in chat. Good to see you. Look at that, Nick. 588 subs. Almost at 600. Almost at 600.
Nice.
It's going right. Oh, fucking hell, Ben. Come, you tits. Gifts another Tombi membership. Holy shit. It's 3 tonight, man. I know you just like love hearing the music. Bit of guts. Followed by the Ocean Man. Let's see who's the lucky son of a bitch. Who's got a Tombit Muppetry award. Yeah, Rick, that's what I think it is. Wolfie! Wolfie Rose joins for 1 month.
You know what? Give me just a second, Tomby. I want to check something.
Yeah, you're all good. Tell you what, if you give me a couple of minutes, I'm just going to make myself a cup of tea. If you don't mind, give me 2 minutes.
That is absolutely fine. And while you do that, I'm gonna go take a wee. Boy, they all must have gone crazy out there. Okay. Infiltration. Looking for one, hopefully, against House Kurita, ladies and gentlemen. Because any excuse to step on the space weebs is a good excuse. Infiltration contract. Or repellents, because, hey, commies need to be taught a lesson occasionally, too. Alright. Champion, a charger, another Jenner. Where are we on BattleX? And we need to look at weapon upgrades, salvage assembly. Okay, we need 3 more spider... Pardon me. 3 more spider salvage, and we can get ourselves a spider mech. 2 more panther. And 1 more locust. You can probably get that done by tonight. But one of these with dual ultra auto cannons is fun. And that is a YMAL exclusive, if I am correct. Oh, wait a second. Do we have a... No, we don't. Steel supplies. Ooh.
The extreme weather conditions will interfere with your sensors and will most likely restrict visibility. Be careful out there.
Okay. Take my locust, give him that. Hi, whoever's down in chat.
I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Cup of tea in hand.
Sounds good. Got ourselves another
Nice.
infiltration contract.
Sounds good.
I'm ready.
I am ready. Let me also get your link. Post your link into chat, Pete's POV. Do me a favor, guys. Make sure you pop over to Pete's link. Give him some love. And if you haven't subbed to Pete already, now's the opportunity to do so. Tickle his testicles. I'm sure he'll love it. The old like, share, subscribe, babe.
Well, firstly, I'm not Daniel Craig, and secondly... Oh, did you hear about that what that homo did recently?
Oh, God. I dread to think. No, I haven't heard anything in the last 6 months, let's put it this way.
I saw on Twitter he was doing, like, some gay film.
Oh,
And no, I don't mean that as, like, you know, oh, it's bad. No, I mean he's literally doing a film about, you know.
Yeah. Virtue signal, if ever we saw one. Do you know the worst thing? He's married to Rachel Weisz. That's just
Yeah, but
makes
is
life
he really?
even worse. Well, this is also true. Let's have a look. Crimson Shadow gifts a membership while I was away. Let me just have a look. Let me see who was the lucky recipient. Where's my freaking... Where's my YouTube?
Where's it gone? I had a thought, and now I've lost it.
It's a bit strange. Crimson's gifted a membership, but it hasn't... Has it been collected? Did it come up... Crimson, did it come up anybody receiving it? I didn't see... And I can't see in my list who actually received your membership. Ah, Darren got it. Oh, is that why Darren's just come up and says, woohoo? Bless you. Ah, Crimson Shadow, thank you very much indeed, you beautiful jock bastard.
Alright. Now, I think this one, we're going to run down, grab one of these, and then try and bust this guy loose down here.
Roger.
Which means I'll need you to run for the exfil once we collect one of these.
Yep.
If all goes well. Huh, should we try it? Should I risk it? No. There's too many of them there.
What was the...
Stick to the edge. What was the...
keybind for seeing the full map?
B.
Buh. Roger. Thank
Bravo.
you. Yeah, someone just fined me against the verbal morality statute. Swearing.
Oh
You
no.
have been fined 1 credit for violation of the verbal morality statute.
You know, we all laughed at that movie.
Nearly there, Commander.
Wait.
Approach the hidden object to pick it up.
Can I pull... Can I Skyrim cheese? No, I'm not going to be able to Skyrim cheese this. However, I can probably sneak around
New target, Hunchback.
if I stay right up close to the edge. We're going to have to grab ourselves a bit of salvage. Hopefully without getting spotted. Yeah. I know, I see him. And sadly, he sees me.
Target acquired.
Okay. Down the hole we go. Thankfully, this blizzard makes it hard for anyone to see us, so...
Prince Shadow says, "You're welcome, welcome, Darren." Thomas responds, "What? You?" And he just gets a fucking another fine.
It's calling for
Yeah.
help, but it's having trouble getting a signal out. Eliminate them quickly. I think
Okay.
you're in the clear. No alarm blazed.
Hey, go away.
If you find the acquisition, just walk up.
Ow.
to it in order
That
to
was
pick it
painful.
up.
Sorry.
That's close enough.
It's fine.
Ready to start pickup operation.
You got it? You got it?
Yep.
Data transfer complete. We'll be sure to put that ammo to good use.
Alright.
Package acquired.
I need you to sneak up to the exfil, and I'm going to try and bust this guy loose.
Roger.
And if you see any mechs I have not yet spotted, I would like it very much if you could get a target lock on them without getting caught.
Roger.
Target acquired.
Down the hole we go.
System offline.
What's the best way of getting a target lock? Hold it.
R.
You go. Ruh.
And, but mainly just focus on getting out of there and heading up to the exfil.
Roger. Chris, I definitely think, Chris Gore, you are correct. The best thing is boobs and cleavage.
Yes. Yes, of course.
100% Grizzled Entertainment. Thank you very much indeed for the blurb. Ben follows in. Love that one. You're a cunt. We get knocked down.
This
we get up
is what we
again.
call a pro gamer move. All right. Stop before you reach that, by the way.
Roger.
And I'll go...
I am stop it.
All right.
Target acquired.
I'll
I have
go
stoppered.
crunchy this guy.
I've got a nice, lovely, strong cup of tea. Oh yeah, stranger things. Stranger danger.
Provide cover for them hacking the
Love
mech.
it.
They're starting the hack now. Cover them while they work. Stealing a battle mech is difficult at the best of times.
Target destroyed.
All right. That is a quick draw. Okay, I'm gonna grab this, and then I want you to... Okay, exfil.
Yep.
Excellent find, Commander.
In.
Beginning recovery now.
Done.
And that is how we get her done. Veteran.
Hello, big tits. Nice. Veteran, 9 out of 10. Nice.
Okay. Huh, there's a hero mech on market. Wonder what it is. Oh, it's the cicada. Ferrofibrous armor, medium lasers, SRM2s, structural endosteel. Not really what we're looking for. However, I'd like to see if...
Cheers, 044. He's an asshole. 17 people watching over on YouTube. This late in the day as well. Thank you very much indeed. One person watching over on Twitch, one on Kick. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you all. Good to see you.
Indeed.
Currently playing with Pete, the Heretical Nerd. You will see his link. I've posted it recently in chat. Do me all a favor and do me a solid. Go pop over to Pete and at least say hello to him. Give him a like, share, and a subscribe and a follow. I'm sure he will muchly appreciate it.
Yes. Indeed.
100%. Steel Leg, be back in chat in a little while, soaking my legs and back. Yeah, you rest up, buddy. Abe just made and ate a double cheeseburger. May have been either a great or terrible decision. Feel a full-blown food coma is coming. Yeah, is incoming. Definitely. The problem is that you've just quaffed a lot of protein. All that fat. The fat alone is going to get you on a fucking food coma, mate. How much bread did you eat? Right, okay. Let me rephrase. Abe, how many chips did you eat? Because the combination of the fat, grease, protein, and the carb intake, that's going to put you in a coma in about half an hour.
Yep.
About 30 minutes, all that blood rushing to your stomach to digest, all the nutrients away. You're going to be going to bed, farting.
Okay.
And fucking hell, it's 25 past 12, you fucking lunatic. You're doing eating a fucking cheeseburger this late. You want a pizza? Pizza or a kebab? That's better. Oh dear.
Thank you, Dan, for the one. Hey, Grizzle Entertainment, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming over and saying hi. All right.
Ah, it's the only thing you've eaten today.
Prepared.
Fucking hell.
Well,
I did have a Five Guys burger yesterday. I must admit, Five Guys burger. They have no portion control on their chips.
Hmm.
Then I've got news for you. That
Hey.
means you're gay. Thank you very much indeed for the blurb there. Vordi, shawarma kebab. Yes,
okay. That'll give
shawarma.
us...
Though to be honest, I actually just prefer a chicken shish rather than a shawarma. Give me a chicken shish any day. Much
Give
preferred.
me half a second.
Much preferred.
All right, back.
Nice.
3, 2, 1.
How's Vordy doing today? How about Jill? How's Jill doing, my friend? Let me know. Let me know how Jill's doing. I really should swap freaking where my camera is. Maybe I'll put my camera on that screen. Play on this one so I can chat to you guys over there. At least look towards you. Find it a little bit rude at times that I look over to the side to see the chat and not towards the webcam when I'm speaking to people. So I wonder if I move my webcam over, it'd be better. But the problem is, the second I change the angle, it fucks everything else up in the room.
Yeah. I'm gonna...
Knight Rider.
Once I get my webcam set up, I'm gonna probably have it over by that... the screen I use for chat and all that.
New target, urban mech.
Alright.
Fucking hell. I'm getting abused by blurps. I went from a perfect...
Views already. Thanks, guys.
I went from a perfect Knight Rider blurb into an X-ray girl. I'll rock your puss. Oops.
It's fine. I don't think we'll take friendly fire damage. Okay.
Not like Helldivers.
No. But
Right,
giant,
David. How you doing?
giant murder robots are a little more forgiving of that sort of thing.
Yeah. Just don't be with Tomby when he drops a freaking laser stratagem on the fucking dropship.
Yes, yes, that's an interesting situation, as I can attest.
Oh dear. How you doing, David? It's good to see you, my friend. It's good to see you, mate. Living a dream, playing big robots, playing with our Tonka toys and everything. It's great. Fucking love playing robots.
Okay, you want to know something interesting about MechWarrior?
All days, every day.
It predates Game of Thrones.
Predates Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive, actually.
Okay, now here's the other thing about it. Predates Game of Thrones, and the politics, the, like, you know, Byzantine power struggles and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
It has all of that from... Everything you're thinking of from Game of Thrones, it
Game
has
of Thrones is in MechWarrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From great houses and all that to, you know, even the sister
Holy
fucking
shit.
part of it. And what's more, George R. R. Martin knows MechWarrior exists.
Yep. It's almost like people are constantly borrowing off each other.
Oh yeah. The history of fantasy in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see.
It's like
And-
we've already said many times before, there's really no original content anymore. There's no original thought
Well,
process, no
there-
original idea.
The thing is, there are, but most of the time, what people are making is either a rehash of an old IP, or it is an outgrowth of a genre or IP that already existed in some way. Let's see, can I? No, I'm not going to be able to. Okay. Tomby, can you jump that? Probably. I'm going to just skirt around the bottom here.
I just need to fucking aim in the right direction.
And stick to the edge. I'm going to see if we can get sensor locks on stuff before we exfiltrate, but I'm trying not to get us caught in the process. I need a spider mech. Really need a spider mech.
Target acquired. New target,
Okay.
spider.
Speaking of, speak of the devil.
Yeah, but what I mean by obviously there's no real original thought anymore is because we're so heavily influenced by all of the good sci-fi over the last 50 years. In fact, if not 60 to 70 years, that it's nigh on impossible not to take some form of kind of like similar approach of other IPs.
Well, having
So-
having read quite a bit of sci-fi, I'm gonna have to somewhat disagree with you.
Yeah, go for it.
For example, if you've ever read the Immarillia books,
No, not that I have. No.
they are a... So it's a interesting take on an old idea, or an older idea. It's not, I say older, but last 20 years.
Yep.
Where it completely switches it around. Where you have a bunch of people who think they're playing in the video game. And it turns out they're not. Because real life is the simulation. And the video game is reality. And it's not the, typical, oh, AIs took over the, the world or anything. It's very, and a lot of the science involved in it, you find out is not, but it's more along the lines of, what's-his-face's quote, any sufficiently advanced technology to a sufficiently primitive species is magic.
Yeah, it will be
Arthur
magic.
C. Clarke.
It'll appear as magic.
And, yeah, that's one that does some very new and inventive and cool stuff. But it does draw inspiration. It's not entirely new, but a lot of the ideas in it are. And they're very interesting. Something... Something...
I guess the point I'm making is that it's very difficult to come up with new IP without taking into consideration some old influence.
Yeah, well...
Because you just can't escape it.
There's
you
a
just
difference...
cannot escape it.
Well, there's a difference between old influence,
Correct.
taking influence
Correct.
from something and ripping it off whole cloth. There's a difference between
Agreed.
Pardon me. There's a difference between what, say, George R. R. Martin did with Game of Thrones. Where he borrowed a lot of elements from Elric and Conan and Lord of the Rings and several other settings to make the world of Westeros, and doing what Warhammer 40K and Fantasy did, which was, hey, let's stick all the toy soldiers into the same box.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, mind you. I love me some 40K, and I really wish they hadn't killed Warhammer Fantasy. Age of Sigmar, let's just say they call it Age of Shitmer for a reason, is just... It's... Okay, 40K and Fantasy were the... Warhammer Fantasy was very unique and very special in its own way, the way it worked. Age of Sigmar, however, is just... It feels like... a really poorly done kitchen sink setting, because it is.
Yeah.
Instead of it feels like, someone looked around at all these fantasy settings and was like, hey, I want that, and they didn't want to really bother doing the work to make it function.
Mustang says, I enjoyed Vermintide until they used it to kill off the fantasy universe.
Well, the thing is, Vermintide is was set post the Warhammer End Times, which was one of the worst decisions Games Workshop has made. Which, they're kind of having to go back on, because now you've got them bringing back Warhammer, the old world.
Yeah.
And I love 40K. It's, in my opinion, it's... Okay, I have the very unpopular opinion of thinking that Dune is not very good. And
You're allowed to.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have that opinion.
And I'm not talking about the movies, I'm talking about the book. Which is
But
part of
the
the reason.
book.
It's
Yeah,
part of the
yeah.
reason I haven't seen the new Dune Part 2. It's just because the books. Okay, the first book is okay. It's competent space fantasy, and as such, it functions fine. However, the second book does something. Well, the end of the first book and the second book start to go off the rails pretty hard because there are a lot of things I'll forgive in any work of fiction. I can forgive, I can forgive some absolute craziness like you see with Warhammer 40k or,
Yeah.
But one thing I do not like is inconsistent characterization, and it really grates on me. And Paul, in the books, in the first book, is shown to be very intelligent.
Yes.
He's shown to be very competent. And Alia, his sister, is shown to be very, scary smart.
Scary smart. Yeah, yeah.
And scary competent. And in the second book, and at the end of the first book, he starts making a bunch of very out-of-character decisions that make no sense from a logical standpoint. Or an emotional one.
Thank you for the blurb, guys.
By the time of the end of the first book, Paul has all the motivation he needs to go and try and get rid of the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah. Bombhead Brian, long time no see. Good to see you trying this game out again, Toby. We've tried a couple of times. One, we got fucked over by mods and Piranha being fucking douchey bastards, not being able to fucking know their ass from their elbows. And the next day, Tommy got stuck into Helldivers so much. It was a case of, Pete, I feel sick. I need to leave. I need to play. I need to be on a different game. And basically, that's how it happened. But yeah, I totally agree with your points, Pete. I totally agree with your points.
And he
one of the things that really pisses me off is consistency through. About turn.
One of the
A
things,
slam dunk straight through someone's face.
and
It's always good.
the other problems I had with the way Paul acted was he started. You have the feeling, like, from reading it, I got the feeling that they wanted him to be a sort of. He wants him to be a villain. Like, by the end of the book, it's supposed to be a warning about the dangers of charismatic leaders. You can kind of tell he wants him sorta to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really work. Because by the end of the book, he's not villainous enough to be intimidating.
Nope.
He's not heroic enough to make it where his, spoilers, he dies. To make his death really, something you feel sorry for.
Poignant.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but you just acted really dumb. Like, really dumb. Which is out of character for Paul, because Paul is supposed to be very intelligent.
Yeah.
And, he gets hyped up the whole first book. Oh, he's a genius! We should be super worried about him! And then they're suddenly like, oh, and,
And he's dead, oh no. Oh no. Yeah, but this is the thing. This is the thing. Inconsistencies.
And I know people...
Though, arguably, even clever people make mistakes. It just is sloppy.
Yeah, well, his death is not so much a result of, even clever people making mistakes. It's just...
Yeah.
It's more a result of Herbert, and this is a problem I have with a lot of modern and a lot of old authors, is your themes and your subtext need to be a natural outgrowth of the story. If you want to have, certain themes and subtext that go a certain way, that's wonderful. Okay? But they have to be a natural outgrowth of the story. And you know, I can read a book like, say, Starship Troopers, which is it's a very interesting book. However, it ends mid-sentence because Heinlein said what he wanted to. It's not so much a science fiction novel as it is a political treatise. And while it's a very interesting political treatise, you know, finish the friggin' book.
Yep.
And while I like, you know, well, I don't mind the first book of Dune, it's very obvious that Herbert began putting the subtext, the horse in front of the cart as far as subtext goes.
Yeah. That he did. Still can't believe there's 18 people still watching on YouTube. It's cracking. Thank you very much indeed, guys.
There's two people
Bombhead
down.
Brian, how have you been? Long time no speak.
Buddy.
Hello.
Okay. We'll grab this one, and maybe we'll push on down to the other one if we're feeling...
Fruity.
Yeah. Feeling particularly spicy.
The more ballistics, the merrier.
Target acquired.
But, you know, it's little things like that that bother me. And that's one of my biggest problems with most woke entertainment. Like, I don't mind if a story has certain subtexts or themes in it. You know, like...
Yeah.
This is why the it goes back to applicability over allegory. The X-Men was something that so many people liked and could relate to because the character's backstory was a catch-all for, you know, the mutants are generally mistrusted and disliked, and that was a good catch-all for anyone who felt like an outsider, you know. You know, and that could be, you know, minorities, or, and just hear me out here, it could be nerds.
Yep.
Who have never been popular.
Right.
And only became popular relatively recently due to, you know, Hollywood making them cool. Step on him, if you can. Or just do that. Okay. Right. Now that's out of the way. And any setting that puts, you know, J.R.R. Tolkien called it the inclusion of unwarranted matter. You know,
Yeah.
any setting that puts its subtext over its substance is doomed to failure. And you can see this in pretty much all of modern media. You know, you've always got someone who's got to shove, you know, this, that, or the other political statement into it.
Yep.
You know, which most people don't care if you don't run down in there if you can. Most people don't care if you have certain themes or subtext in a story as long as it is there as a natural outgrowth of the story.
Yeah.
You know, that's why people liked Arcane and, you know, hate a ton of other, you know, and hated Batwoman.
Yeah.
Sure, the main character might possibly be gay, but it's there as a result of the story. It's not there as a,
It's not.
hey,
as
we
there as
shoehorned
the-
this in here for, you know.
Yeah. Correct. And Darren said, read some Joseph Campbell, then cast a critical eye to modern woke writing. Drink your Ovaltine. Drink your Ovaltine. My goodness God. Ovaltine for the win.
All right. And we took no damage. Well, I took a little damage. It's not enough to matter.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens once we pop up to Stanzage. God, I love these names. Did you know that you can see Tukiad from, not Tukiad, Talarn from Earth? Or is it Formalhaut? I think it's Formalhaut I'm thinking of. I know this because I was out with my brother a couple of months back looking at the stars through a telescope, and the software he was using for that was like, hey, this planet right next to the one where you're looking at is Formalhaut. I was like, wait, what? But yeah, Formalhaut's right down here by Terra.
Yeah.
Like you see, it is the industrial hub one right south of the Kurita border. Okay, infiltration contract against House Kurita. Let's go! And that whole, building on that, that's part of the reason I like Tolkien more than I like Lewis. Because Tolkien had his themes and subtext there naturally, whereas Lewis would beat you over the head with it. And his entire story is very the Chronicles of Narnia is very obviously allegorical. And if you're talented enough, you don't need to do that.
Commander, I've dropped you right on the front line with hostile forces.
Okay.
Our client is requesting a meet at a small border checkpoint up ahead regarding our assignment here. Report to the marked position on your map. Stay away from enemy units to remain undetected. Light mechs are much harder to detect. Command your lance to hold fire as any attack will immediately raise an alarm. Our employer is also offering us a performance bonus if we can complete a number of sub-objectives if they present themselves as targets of opportunity. Be on the lookout for them.
Be on the lookout. Still like history. I just saw my views on my last Elden Ring video. It's up to 75. Folks seem to like it and seem to enjoy it. Nice. That's what we like to see, Steel Leg. That's what we like to see.
People like Souls games. That's one of the things.
Yep.
I don't particularly care for Souls-likes, personally. It may be I just, haven't played the right ones. Not to mention, it's been forever since I played a Souls-like. But I really enjoy watching other people play them. Okay, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We'll go north.
Sure.
But if and going back to that whole "there's nothing new under the sun" thing, there is a, you have Hollywood complaining about, oh, we've just been making superhero films forever. That's like, yeah, but, or we've just been making comic book films forever. There's a lot of types of comics out there.
Yep.
And not everything is spandex.
Correct.
Just like not everything is, not all science fiction is Star Trek. Just like, not all science fiction is, futuristic fiction is 1984. And you don't have Hollywood taking advantage of a lot of those settings that are just out there and completely untapped. Like, they haven't even looked at them.
Oh, Bombhead Brian! Holy shit! Fucking hell. What am I doing? There we go. Right, 2 seconds, Bombhead Brian. I just need... Fucking hell, you confused the living shit out of me. Bombhead Brian just drops 40 quid. 40 GBP.
Good grief.
Yeah, I know, and that's exactly why I got confused about where I was fucking going all of a sudden. Hope Poppy Physio is going good. She actually started her hydrotherapy Wednesday just gone. Got her into the water. She panicked a little bit. So for the first 3 times round, she was panicking in the water. So it was more thrashing than swimming. But the last time round, she started to get the hang of it and started to understand that she's supposed to paddle. So yeah, Bombhead Ride is going well. So when we're taking it slowly with the swimming, we've got 1 session each week. So our next session is Saturday. So a week today, basically, and it's going to be every Saturday. So every Saturday on the community tab over on YouTube, I'm going to be dropping some pictures, showing you how she's doing. But yeah, thank you very much indeed, Bombhead Brian. That's ever so kind of you and ever so generous. Thank you very much indeed, my friend.
And there's a lot of types of science fiction we just don't see much. You know, I'd like to see more good old-fashioned science fantasy in the line of, say, something more along the lines of a Princess of Mars, if you will.
Yeah.
But we don't get that. You know, we get the 90-second Star Wars movie.
Yep.
Which, you know, hey, Star Wars is fine and all, but, you know, I'd like something that feels like it was written for someone older than 12.
The problem is Star Wars used to be fine. It's not fun anymore.
Well, you know, you had the Star Wars EU, which had, you know, and I had a friend, I still have a friend. Now, he's not a Star Wars fan anymore for obvious reasons, but he used to be a massive Star Wars guy. And we would have conversations, you know, that would go on for hours about, you know, just nerd crap, you know. Hey, I bet Gandalf could beat any Jedi in the, you know. Because I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd, he's a Star Wars nerd, of course, you know, those conversations are going to come up.
Yep.
And, you know, I'd be like, you know, Gandalf can beat just about anything in the Star Wars universe. He's like, nah, Yoda's going to win. But, you know, just stuff like that, which you don't hear people talking about with Star Wars anymore.
No.
Because it's
the thing is,
it's not good enough to hold people's interest anymore.
No, it's not. It hasn't been good enough to hold people's interest for a good 15 years, 20 years. No one cares anymore.
You know,
literally no one cares anymore.
But he was a massive EU fan. And the EU was, you know, a lot, you know, he's like, dude, you got to read these EU books. But, you know, by the time I was, you know, interested enough to really go dig into the EU, The Force Awakens had happened. And, you know, it's like, yeah. Do I really want to go spend...
It turns you right off it.
Yeah, do you really want to go look at another dead franchise? Because, you know, they're never going to... Okay, Star Wars is dead. Like, it's permadead.
Yeah.
George isn't coming back. You know, they're never going to properly adapt the EU.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is dead.
Yeah.
All right. We have plenty of money now. So, let's see. What do we got up here? We'll go shopping a little bit. But, you know, Hollywood has this attachment to going after pre-existing IPs and then doing nothing inside that verse. Like, if you're going to do a TV adaptation, or if you're going to do a film adaptation of a franchise, you should do so with the intent of enriching the franchise that already exists. Because if you don't, you're going to make an awful lot of people very angry. And they'll never forgive you for messing up their franchise. Disney is never going to be forgiven for what they've done to Star Wars. They're never going to be forgiven for what they've done to Marvel. They're never going to be forgiven for what they've, done to Willow, which I guess some people care about. And the reason for that is because they took an IP. They took the name, they took the characters, and they wore their faces like a skin suit. And people did not appreciate that. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Tomby.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to pop over into the market, can you?
How do I get into the market?
Go to home. You should see market up there along the top.
No, I can see battle mechs and contract is grayed out. I do not see market.
Okay. Should I? I wonder.
Do it.
Does it have ferrofibrous armor? No, it does not have ferrofibrous armor.
Don't do it.
But it does have large pulse lasers, and ERPPCs, and structural endosteel, and a Beagle active probe. And it's a Black Knight. No. Can't justify it. Now, if that was an assault mech, I might think about it, but just another heavy? Nah. But it, and that has damaged Hollywood. Like, no one is particularly optimistic for the Fallout TV show. And no nerd is ever optimistic when, Hollywood touches a video game IP.
No.
Because you can tell the people involved have absolute disdain for it. And, that comes through in their work.
This is the disappointing thing with it. Because pre-existing IPs, game IPs, whatever, if I was to be creating a TV program or a film based on that IP, then the first things I would be doing is going to the original creators of the game and saying, right, can you be consultants on this? Make sure we get the lore right, make sure we get the history right, the attitudes of the people, the characters, the heart and soul of the game needs to exist within this thing that we are creating. We don't want it to go down like every other game IP, heartless and hollow, complete facsimile, a fake in terms of the story. It doesn't fit, it's alien to it. I'd be turning around and saying, these original game developers who made it and still got massive love for the IP, whatever they say, if they say the program's going down the wrong route, then they can overrule it.
Yeah, and this, well, that is something that, there are a lot of ways to do a proper video game, and it doesn't necessarily have to be adaptation, okay? This is something that drives me insane, okay? One of the hardest things to write, and I can tell you this, I write in my spare time. I'm not very good at it. I don't have anything published. But I do write down stories, because...
Yeah. Why not?
It pops into my head, and it, goes onto the Word document, because if I don't, it disappears. Or I obsess over it and, lie awake and think about it till 2 o'clock in the morning. One of the hardest things to write is world building. Okay? Because there are many ways you can do world building. But one of the quickest ways to lose someone, and I know this is someone who reads a lot of books, is to immediately snow them under in world building. And, if it's not done well. You know,
Yeah.
people don't like having to, and you can see this in the latter day Marvel films. People don't like to have to do homework. People don't like to have to go back and, you know, learn, you know, how the magic in a world works, or, you know, who a character is for the 24th time. This is part of the reason why Batman movies are, you know, the 90-second Batman reboot isn't doing particularly well, because people are, you know, it's like, yes, we get it, move on. Get to the exciting part. You know, and this is why a lot of people criticize Tolkien as being boring. Because, now, I personally think Tolkien's world building is superb. Especially if you read the books as they're supposed to be read. Which is, you shouldn't be reading this as a modern day, like, pulpy novel. Or a comic.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be
Agreed.
something. It's supposed to be read as mythology.
Agreed, Robert.
Which, if you've ever read if you've ever taken the time to read, and by the way, Tolkien would know because he translated a lot of mythology, and if you haven't read his translations of Beowulf and Grendel or Sindgard and Gudrun, you should, because they're really good. But you have to... Hollywood doesn't realize that if you take a pre-existing IP, okay, like, I don't know, Star Wars, or Star Trek, or Lord of the Rings, or, you know, any of these other settings, and you adapt them to film, you don't have to world build. Okay?
Yeah.
Most of the world building is already done. Okay? Most of the people coming, you know, the fans are going to get excited because you've, you know, hey, we're getting a film adaptation of, or they would have 20 years ago, you know, gotten excited about
New target, urban map.
an adaptation of, say, oh, this is not good, of Lord of the Rings. Like, when we got the Lord of the Rings movies, people were, you know, this is really good. And people generally knew what Lord of the Rings was, or had a general conceptualization of what Lord of the Rings was. And so Peter Jackson didn't have to spend a ton of time explaining the backstory of Middle-earth. He didn't have to go in and, you know... And of the Valar, there were, you know... He didn't have to do that. You know, it's Lord of the Rings. Yeah, you know, you can spend 5 minutes, do a 5th grade level of research, and you've got the basic story beats and the basic setting down.
Yeah.
And most people can talk to their nerd friends and figure out, hey, what's this one about? But with modern adaptations, or more correctly, bastardizations, they take an IP, throw out all the existing lore, seemingly out of nothing but spite. People don't, and, you know, like, you can see this with the Halo TV show. Clear as daylight. They have completely trashed the lore. It's obvious they have absolutely no respect, and they have no conceptualization of what Halo is. Because, you know, they didn't play the games. They didn't, you know, they didn't read the books. They didn't read the comics.
Yeah.
And so they don't even know what they're doing to make the fans mad. And they're, you know, and the world building they're doing is crap. It makes no sense. Because they've taken the Halo IP, where the Covenant, who view humanity as abominations to their gods, and they're like, oh yeah, and there are humans in the Covenant now. Well, why are there humans in the Covenant now? Because, we needed to see Master Chief naked. But why? Don't think about it.
The target is calling for help, but is having trouble
Just,
getting a signal
you know,
out.
consume content.
Eliminate them
Can you
quickly.
can you neutralize that, was that a turret that
Target acquired.
you alerted back there, Tommy?
Let me have a look.
I mean, I can probably get us out of here before an alarm sounds, so it probably won't matter. But if it's just a turret, then crush him and... Yeah, never mind. Don't bother. Don't...
Takes care of them.
Okay,
He's down.
good.
It's all good.
But, you know... It's easier to just take the setting and stay faithful to the source material because it saves you a ton of time. And you don't have to bother writing the lore for a world. This is the reason, and Hollywood used to be smart about this, when they, you know, started the Avengers movies, they stuck to the source material, and people liked them for it. Well, what's going on with, you know, what's going on with the next Avengers movie? Well, they might bring in Ultron. Or, hey, they might bring in this Vision character. He's super cool. Or, you know, you remember when WandaVision was going on, and everyone was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, they're gonna bring in Mephisto! Oh! And then, you know,
Yep.
yeah, we don't even know who that is. And the fans were like, oh, sad deflating balloon noises. You know.
Exactly. That's the problem. When you've got people not giving a fuck about the source IP or even understanding what they're trying to create, then you're on a loser straight away. I mean, the thing is that I've got the imagination of a toilet seat. I've got no imagination. I don't read books because my brain isn't wired to do that. I don't read books. I don't religiously sit there, read, whether it's fiction, whether it's anything non-fiction, whatever, it doesn't matter. I can't write stories. My imagination I don't have one. So that's why I really struggle with trying to see why they're getting it so wrong. Because for me, it's fairly straightforward in terms of a formula approach. Here's your IP. This is your universe. Stick with it. Expand upon it. Don't break what's come before it. It can't be difficult. It really can't be difficult.
Oh, chat.
Tomby, I don't know what happened, but while I was soaking my back and my knees, I just hit 326 subscribers.
Well done,
Nice.
sir.
Thank you very much indeed, as well for the blurb. A steel leg of history. Good job. And I see Smoo has just cracked 700 subs on YouTube. Well done, Smoo.
Nice.
Well done, sir.
Oh, there's an Annihilator in here. Which means we should be getting ferrofibrous armor soon. Once you start seeing Wolf Dragoons shit, it usually means there's gonna be the good stuff coming back into regular circulation. But, you know, and for me, like, you can take an IP and do a lot of things with it. For example, you know, you can do an adaptation, a straight-up adaptation, which, you know, is nice. People like those, as long as they're done properly. But you can also do, you know, you can also just take the verse and set your story there. You know,
Yeah.
but set it far enough away from the main story that it doesn't conflict with it. Or, you know, you can set it in the future or set it in the past.
Yeah.
Or, you know. And as long as it's done properly, people generally like it. But
100% Mustang McCracken, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
That one did sting. That one did sting.
yes, he did. Yeah, I'm surprised the idiots at Kotaku who are talking bad about him haven't been, they haven't found them strung up on the southern border.
Well, yeah, I am as well, considering how loved he was. And certainly
Don't
well respected.
Talk bad about the Dragon Ball man,
Weather warning is in effect
because the
around
Mexican cartels will probably murder you.
Yep.
Not saying we would want that to happen, but, you know, just saying, you know, don't do that. Don't fly too close to the sun there. But, you know, this is something in settings. If you take, for example, when Robert Jordan died and Brandon Sanderson took over Wheel of Time, he made sure to stick as close as he could to the substance,
Yep.
subtext, and the story that Jordan was trying to tell. He wasn't doing his own thing. He was trying to stick to the original creator's vision. Modern Hollywood has the problem of trying to go in and just, wear the face of a franchise, and it doesn't ever work. And I think partially that is intentional. I think that is partially people who just want to destroy franchises maliciously. And I think it's partially they don't take fiction seriously. And you're going to have people, of course, who are going to be like, well, what do you mean you should take fiction seriously? Well, when you have something that has become part of your culture's mythology, for example, Lord of the Rings, or Star Wars, or Star Trek, or Conan, or Solomon Kane, that has had massive influence over society as a whole for God knows how long, you have to treat it with a certain level of respect. Because it is, at that point, cultural mythology. And, now, naturally, this is where the whole, everything is racist, everything is sexist, everything is homophobic comes in. Because for them, for the third wave feminist types, the, intersectionalist types, they see traditional heroes as evil. They're functioning on entirely different wavelengths to me and you. And they see traditional heroes, traditional masculine heroes, as evil. And they see traditional feminine heroes as evil. And they have to tear that down. So that's the malicious part. The people who just want to destroy stuff for the sake of destruction. But you have a lot of other people who just don't know any better and have no interest in knowing any better. If I was to be given, if you just gave me $1 billion in a Hollywood studio tomorrow, okay, and gave me an IP that I have, no former contact with, no previous contact with, then I would take the time out of my, to go in and learn everything I could about that IP and the people who originally created it before I attempted to put my own spin on it. Because if you're going to attempt to put your spin on a subject, or a franchise, you need to make sure, it's like my problem with a lot of people who try to deconstruct fantasy. And I have this problem with George R.R. Martin and a lot of those types. If you're going to try and deconstruct something, you should first know what it is. And if you're going to try and put your own, not just so you know not to get sued, know how to not get sued, you also need to be able to come up with something hopefully fresh and interesting. Or if you're going to just rehash old story, and old plots, do it in an interesting way. Or at least be able to do it competently. But a lot of... disappeared. A lot of these people don't know anything about not only the IPs that they're going after, but they don't even know anything about the genre. Like, you can see this with the writers of She-Hulk, when they were like, well, what do you know about American law? Because if you're going to be writing a what is ostensibly a procedural law slash, comedy, the She-Hulk show.
Yeah.
You need to know something about law so at least it obtains some level of verisimilitude. But they didn't even bother. Like, that was the furthest thing from their mind. They're like, yeah, we just basically watched some procedural shows. Like, we didn't talk to any lawyers or anything. Like, when George Lucas went and made Star Wars, he based the world of Star Wars on a ton of different things. It wasn't just he was basing it off, the hero, Joseph Campbell's The Hero of a Thousand Faces, or, he wasn't just basing it on Kurosawa films. He was also basing it on history. He was also basing it on a lot of Hermetic philosophy. He was basing it on a lot of, Buddhist philosophy. He was taking a ton of different things, compiling it together, and, Flash Gordon serials, and we got Star Wars out of that. But he had a lot of different creative inspirations to draw from. These creatives, and I'm using giant air quotes here, they don't know anything about science fiction, okay? They don't know anything about fantasy. They certainly don't know anything about sci-fantasy or old pulp fantasy, because a lot of what we see today is an outgrowth of pulp fiction. Your Robert E. Howards, your the Shadows, you're the Conans, you're the Green Hornets, you're the this character or that, you're Solomon Kanes. And it's the current day people writing it, and they are very current day, they don't read any of those old stories, and so they really have no other place to draw from but, hey, my college professor said racisms. I think a lot of what we're dealing with today, what we're suffering under today, is the result of these people literally don't know any better. They have nothing else to draw from. Like, they see racism behind every bush and, and tree. And they don't they don't even understand what they're doing wrong. The ones who aren't malicious. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't take much for them to spend an evening reading a couple of Conan novels. I'm not grabbing that yet. You can't. Oh, what? Who's great? Can you crush him? I'm gonna go and grab us some junk and looks. We may have to redo this one. But
he's out.
they don't understand what they're doing wrong because they don't know anything about what they're dealing with.
No, they caught. Yeah, we're gonna have to redo this one.
Okay.
Managed to get a signal out. Wankers.
Lost it. They don't even know what they're doing wrong because they don't have any frame of reference. And they don't take it seriously.
Yeah. I'm probably going to have enough time for this mission, and then I'm going to call it with MechWarriors. I'm going to do a couple of hours on Helldivers.
Hey, I can join you if you want.
Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Yeah, if you're still awake,
Yeah.
I certainly will be.
But that's the thing. They don't.
The clients would also like us to deal with a number of other tasks in the area, but our
They don't
contract
have
only
anywhere to
stipulates
draw
completion of
inspiration
our
from
primary
other than
objective.
politics, which is part of why you see
Some of your
politics and everything.
Commander.
Yep.
You know, I imagine you and I would have, you know, our political views, but we have other things we're interested in. We have other other things that we, you know, politics are but one facet of your personality, you know, of who you are. And, you know, we can disagree on politics and not have a problem
Yep.
because, you know, we have other things we agree on and like. You know, other common denominators. These people don't. Because for them, politics are everything. For them, their politics are their sun, their moon, their stars. They, you know, they need to constantly focus on political stuff. And they don't know anything else. And so it comes through in their work. And, you know, you have people who have that problem to a certain extent with your, you know, and not so much politically, but just their worldview comes through very clearly, like with, you know, Frank Herbert or, you know, George R. Martin or, you know, those types. They have a certain view of the world, and that leads them to projecting that onto their work quite heavily.
Yeah.
Now, George R. R. Martin does know quite a bit about fantasy, and I am not going to attempt to say that, you know, I know better than him on fantasy, because the dude is an old-fashioned fantasy fan. But, you know, and his
The target is calling for help. But if
liked,
you're having trouble getting a signal out, eliminate them quickly.
you know, and he's been reading,
Takes care of them.
he's been reading Elric and all that since he was a, you know, a pup, but his I'm just gonna say it, his understanding of Lord of the Rings is entirely wrong.
Asset. Move up to it.
And the reason it's wrong is because it's very colored by his worldview. If you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna read anything, like if I go back and I read the Epic of Gilgamesh, okay, I'm not going to impress upon it 21st century values, because it's very much not a 21st century work. When you have someone like George R. R. Martin, however, who reads Lord of the Rings,
Yep.
it doesn't quite click for them because their worldview doesn't exactly align with it.
Centurion. Target acquired.
In fact, Tolkien's worldview and Martin's, you know, worldview are repudiations of each other. You know, Tolkien believed in good and evil. Clear, black and white, good and evil. He believed that certain people were more susceptible to one force or another. Whereas Martin, if you read or, you know,
That must be one of the tanks
just
the contract
pay
is
attention
for.
to any of Martin's work, it's very obvious that he does not. And he doesn't view people as good or evil. And it's not just, you know, oh, people have a capacity for one or the other, or they have a greater capacity for... No. He doesn't see it that way, the way Tolkien did. Okay? Tolkien saw... the bad characters as bad and the good characters as good.
Yeah.
And he understood why. Now, there's a difference between saying that you understand why someone's evil and you try and make them sympathetic. Like, I like villains who, you know, their motivations are understandable, but you know, very obviously would disagree with them. You know? Like, I understand the reasoning behind, say, you know, Melkor or Sauron.
Approach the hidden object to pick it up.
Their reasoning is very simple. It's, you know, they want power. Sauron and Melkor both commit the sin of hubris. They want power above all else, and they will do anything for it. They're very much, you know, they're very Lucifer-esque characters.
Yeah.
You know, there's the whole, you know, and I shall stand in the place of the Most High. You know, I will make myself a god. Basically, they looked at God and said, hey, you're sitting in my chair. And of course, the result of that is, you know, getting cast from heaven and all this. But they're written, you know, and that's not a direct allegory. That's for, you know, the Bible, like a lot of Lewis's characters. They are, like Melkor, like Sauron has a moment in the Silmarillion where he seeks redemption. However, his ego makes him, you want to call it there? You can switch over to Helldivers?
Yeah.
Where he has a moment where he seeks redemption, but his ego makes him think the people around him are mocking him. And so he hardens his heart to the possibility of redemption and goes, you know what? I'm a really good, I wasn't actually wrong. I wasn't actually the bad guy here. Why shouldn't I? And that's why you get the whole, you know, that's why he falls back towards, you know, evil, and that's why he goes and rounds up the orcs and does all that.